Hello, I am roaringbug, and welcome to my Sims 4 speed build. Today I am building a house called the Pink Queen Anne. So if you like my video, please like, subscribe, or leave me a comment. And you can reach me at my various social media platforms in the description below. And with that out of the way, I can start talking about the build. So this build, as I said, is called the Pink Queen Anne. And I got this lovely picture off of Pinterest of a little pink Queen Anne house, and I thought it just looked really adorable, and it had this really unique looking it's the banisters on the second floor that I think really make this house stand out and look different from my other Victorian homes that I've built. And I like the little 8-sided little piece off the side of it on the right side of the house. I think that's really cute too. Also, the picture of the house that I had, it showed this side entranceway, and I thought it looked really cute, and I thought that would be really nice to try and replicate that detail in this house. So I'm just mapping out the different shapes, and I'm just trying to make it look more or less what the build should look like. So frankly, this is like the important part of building. It's just trying to figure out the shape of the build. So I duplicated the second floor just so that I can get another platform piece to match, because with this extra platform piece I can put this white trim that you saw that I placed on the house, and I thought this extra white trim would look really cute. And yeah, I placed that roof in the wrong spot, but yeah. Okay, so this roof, the main body of the roof, is 2 roof pieces. So first I used a gabled roof, and then I used this other roof piece that doesn't show any white on the sides, and I'm just trying to match them up and show most of just the full roof piece instead of the half gabled piece. You're seeing what I'm doing right now, just trying to manipulate this roof and have it just kind of peek out. And I thought, why am I putting separate pieces? I'll just pull the pieces all the way across, because there is no attic space in this house. I didn't want to go through with that. And that topper on the tower is a round roof piece, but if you do, I think it's either Shift C or Control C that lets you put extra little circles, and these little circles are just extra ways in order to manipulate the shape of the roof. And I also wanted to put like these little spandrel things here and these little pillars, and I think the pillars are good because they let you see the house, like the contours of the house. In gameplay, pillars are actually kind of annoying because they don't disappear when you do half cutaway walls. So I don't want to use too many of them, because I also play as well, and I know like they don't drop away, and it's kind of annoying when you're trying to see your sim and there's a pillar just like right there in front of your face when you're trying to see them. And for this bottom part here, I just put larger windows. So I just kind of mixed up the windows. I used big ones, small ones, just trying to get the same look. And I put this flat roof piece here because I thought I wanted that trim to go out onto the edges of that roof piece, because it looked kind of, I don't know, I thought it looked kind of weird if it was just matching the 3-fold window instead. And I just copied these windows over so I can just have the same ones all around the house. And I put down this pink banister. It's a little annoying, but a banister cannot touch a roof piece. So that roof piece in the front is actually preventing me from putting a banister all around. And I just put this roof detail, and now I'm just putting more of these pillars just so you can just see the contours, because when you don't see the contours, it just looks like a big pink mass. So this just kind of like defines like the zones of the windows. And I found this debug, I think it's like a fence piece, but I decided to use it as a topper for the roof. So I just kind of shrunk it down and kind of minimized it and try to finagle it in the right spot just so that it looks like a roof detail. Because there are no roof details in base game, so I mean, you can try and get away with it maybe with like some debug fencing, but you have to be careful because if you don't put it in the right spot, sometimes you'll see it poking out strangely in the roof. And yeah, and that's a little detail that I liked, which is that little fence around the 3 folded window. And I just wanted to make some kind of contouring on that flat side, on the left side of the building, but I didn't want to do like a full bump out. And I don't know if you can tell, but what I'm doing is I'm actually counting stairs, because it's for my own personal preference. I like my steps to be at least 5 steps high, so I was counting to make sure that it was 5 steps high. And for the back, I decided to add like a little back porch area. And because it was touching the roof, I decided to use shorter windows on the top of the second floor. And what you were seeing is I was swapping out the pillar because I wasn't sure if the pillar should be the larger one or the smaller one. But I decided that the one touching the trifold window should be symmetrical and just be the smaller one. So let's see, so I wanted that balcony to be accessible, so I put a glass pane double door there, and I moved the lot over, so I just scooched it up a little bit. And now I'm trying to figure out the layout for the interior. So I know what it looks like, I know what I'm doing, but I actually go through quite a few stairs before I finally decide what is the right set of stairs to put down in a house. And I was trying to figure out where to put a chimney and, all kinds of things. I think that chimney just moves over a little bit. But you'll see me do that later on when I start doing decoration. So this is, I was like, these windows are too close to the fireplace. And I'm putting down some arches, just trying to figure out the walk flow, like the feng shui of this house. Like where would you walk to in this house? Like ideally, the first thing you want to do when you enter a house is enter the living room. So the front part is going to be a living room. And then I have a dining room and a kitchen, and I wanted to make sure that I could fit a bathroom somewhere in this house on the first floor. So all the bathrooms are going to be in the tower. So I was able to fit a bathroom there, and now I'm just trying to figure out the space on the second floor. So the second floor is just going to be bedrooms, and I usually put down a bed just so I can figure out space, because I can't seem to remember how to figure out the space. I know like a bed is like 6 tiles long, like it takes up 6 tiles, but visually I need to see a bed in the room in order to figure out if I'm doing the space correctly. And what I'm doing is I'm using like the fence in order to make an open stairway, I had that one trim that was entering inside the house. So if you hold shift and then delete, you can delete just one roof trim at a time, which is really helpful. You can also hold shift in order to add one trim per wall at a time if you don't want roof trims on the entire outside of your house. And I'm using this fence in order to make some kind of planter space in this build. And I was like, why am I squishing it? I have a bit more room. So I just moved everything over just a little bit. Here I moved it in a little bit too, because since I want that side entrance to be accessible, I decided to leave a little bit more leeway so that a sim can actually walk up to that side entranceway. I don't imagine your sim actually using that side entranceway, but it's a detail. It's all about the details. And now I'm just using floor tiling in order to create this little pathway to the side entrance. And I went through a bunch of different flooring for the outside, but it's not going to stay this brick. I think it changes to stone later on. But I wanted to keep with the pink color, so I just put down all the pink flowers I could find in base game, which isn't too many, but I wanted to go with a lavender. I'm like tripping on the word, a lavender theme. So I put lavender all around the house. So it just has this abundance of this wild lavender growing everywhere, and I thought that looked really pretty. And I wanted to put just a little bit more green, and I wanted to put these pink hydrangeums around there, just so that it looks more lush and full and beautiful. So I just kind of stuck them in there and tried to make them look as natural as possible, and manicured, but pretty. I don't really think too hard about landscaping. I always just I kind of layer and hope for the best. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm just layering plants and hoping that it looks good. I think it does. Yeah, and I just added this one little fence here and this tree here. So this is a debug tree. It has really nice texture for a debug tree. Normally the other trees look kind of twiggy, all the birches and stuff like that, they all look kind of twiggy, but I thought yeah, that's a really nice looking tree. The weird thing about the debug tree is that if you zoom in closer to them, they kind of phase out and they look like they disappear, but they are there. It's just when you get closer to them, they look like they're not there. I think it's because for visual stuff, it helps, but it was throwing me off when I was looking at that tree and trying to add stuff around it and then realizing that tree wasn't there, but it is. And at first I put down these patio lounge chairs on the tile side, and I was like, nah, you would want to sit under the tree and put your feet on the grass. So that's why I moved them to the side on the grass. And I use these white garden lights. I don't normally use the white garden lights because they're pretty crappy. They don't really light up anything. The best one is the black one that looks kind of squarish. But I was I just want to keep everything white and pink as possible in this house. So I just went with the white ones. I don't know. Like I said, they don't really light anything up. There's only 2 lights that actually do anything in base game when it comes to lighting stuff up. Most of the lights are actually pretty dim. And I wanted this house to be pink, but I didn't want it to be in your face pink. So I tried to pick a lot of pale pastel pinks and try to keep things white. You saw when, I don't know if you caught it, but at one point I thought about doing a checkered floor in this kitchen, but I changed my mind because I thought that'd be a little too campy. And I put this this kitchen bar here. I didn't want to do like a traditional dining table in this kitchen because I thought it might be a little too small. And function wise, like, your Sims are not going to eat together. They're just gonna do their own thing. So I thought a bar would make more sense. And if you want, you could swap it out for an actual bar for like gameplay purposes, because your Sims can, I think they can get like the mixology skill. I don't think being a bartender is a game. Like, it's not a career you can do. But is it? I think it's like, oh, no, it is. It is a base game career. It's the mixology career. And now you're just gonna see me zoom by, just decorating the house. It looks like I'm going by really fast because what I ended up doing is, in my speed builds, is I'm cutting out all the times that I'm scrolling. So it just looks like it's bam, bam, bam. It's just happening really fast. But what I did is, like, I cut out all the times I'm scrolling trying to find an object, because the build by catalog, it's a little all over the place, so it's a little hard to figure out where objects are. And this bathroom is just basically the exact same as the other bathroom downstairs. The only difference is I put the toothbrush holder on the upstairs bathroom, because ideally that you'd brush your teeth right after you get up in the morning. So yeah, I just made this traditionally looking kind of dining room area in this living room area, I mean. So yeah, and I thought that's a good space for a piano. So I put a piano here and a guitar there and a little flower on the piano because I thought that looks romantic. And I put a gramophone, which is a radio, in the game. So yeah, and I put some like decoration stuff. I use pretty expensive decoration for the house, but you know, you could do what you want in the house. So I put these two knight statue things in the house and this expensive painting. And yeah, and instead of this room being the dining room, I turned it into a skill building room, because for gameplay purposes it makes more sense to have a skill building room. So I put 2 gym equipment, a computer, a radio, and an easel. So if you don't want your sim to have a job, they can make a lot of money just doing paintings. Or if you wanted to get fit, you know, you can do that too. There's a fitness career, but you know, that job is more like a rabbit hole, so it's not really interactive. And the rest of these rooms I just turned into an infant room and a child's room for like 2 kids. And I imagine that this house might be for a multi-generational house, so I put 2 bedrooms, assuming that you would have one for the grandparents and one for the active parents in the household. So like I said, I just kept everything pink and white, but I didn't want it to be like I didn't want it to be so pink that it's like a Barbie house. I mean, it could be a Barbie house if you want to play it that way, because I thought, you know, I wanted pink to be like an accent color and not the primary color in this house. So I know that these 2 full beds have pink rooms, but they're actually 2 shades of pink. The room that I'm messing with right now is actually a lighter shade of pink, and the other one is actually like a darker shade of pink in this room. And I put the Jerry portraits in that room just for storyline's sake. That's like, I don't know, like family pictures. And in my head, I think like you'd have family pictures in your bedroom. And for the infant room, I just put like a teddy bear, some toys, and I put this bear chair and a trash can. because if you do infant gameplay, you're gonna have like dirty diapers and bottles everywhere. So it's kind of essential to put a trash can in an infant's room. And I put the telescope out there in the balcony. And I use these pictures all the time for like infant rooms. For the kids' room here, I wanted to put a dresser, but I couldn't really fit it because this room didn't have enough space for the skill building items. So I decided to put them in the hall. And in the kids' room, I just put a desk because I think it would make sense, because if they wanted to, they could do their homework there. But I imagine in when you do gameplay, they'll probably end up doing their homework on the kitchen table, in that bar table. They'll probably end up walking there, or even in the backyard. I've seen Sims, if there's like not a table close at hand, they'll go into the backyard. So if you wanted to, you could change that skill building room into like a formal dining room. So this is the end of my video. Thank you for watching. Bye.